nothing like a little extinction to kick off the summer. Hey everybody, welcome to Mainly Movies. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 dinosaur movies. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for a variety of movie-related content like reviews, rank lists, and trailer reactions. Well, it's the first Saturday of the month, so that means it's time for another episode of the Movie Nerds Club. This month, we're taking a bit of a prehistoric turn. After you watch my top dinosaur movie picks, make sure you check out the videos of the other members of the Movie Nerds Club. Links to their videos are in the description below. With Jurassic World Dominion stomping into theaters next week, we thought this was the perfect month for some dino discussion. Initially, I was a little concerned that we'd all be loaded up with Jurassic Park films, but the more I thought about the topic, the more dinosaur movies kept popping into my head. I imagine there are a few films that everybody will have on their lists, but I think we're going to have a little more variety than you might expect. I know I've certainly got an odd pick or two on here. Remember, these are just my top movies, not the top movies, so be sure to post your own personal top dinosaur movies in the comments below. I've already reviewed some of these movies on this channel, so if you want to check those out for some more in-depth thoughts on each of them, I'll put links in the description below, and I'll also link them up in the cards as we go along. Alright, let's get this top list started. Coming in at number 5, Adventures in Dinosaur City. Okay, so this is probably the most out there pick on this list, and maybe on any of the Movie Nerds lists this month. And if I'm being perfectly honest, this movie probably doesn't deserve the number 5 spot over other better films, but there's no way I could talk about dinosaur movies without mentioning this one. This was a movie I watched a lot when I was really young. We taped it one time, and I don't know what ended up happening to that original VHS, but for some reason, I stopped watching it. And as I got older, this movie haunted me, because I couldn't remember the name of it for the life of me. Couldn't remember any major plot points, and nobody I talked to had any recollection of anything remotely like it. These days, you could throw a few vague memories up on Reddit and somebody can give you the name in a few minutes, but back in the late 90s, early 2000s, we didn't have that luxury. And so I had these very specific memories, but honestly, got to the point where I convinced myself that I must have made the movie up, or dreamt it. It's bizarre enough that that wouldn't really have been that big a stretch. But when I was in college, I finally found it, and felt so vindicated that this thing was actually real. It's a super weird one. It's a made-for-TV movie and stars Omri Katz, of Hocus Pocus fame, as a kid who accidentally gets sucked into his favorite dinosaur TV show along with his 2 friends. And they end up in this weird anthropomorphic dinosaur world and basically have to help start a revolution. It's beyond strange, and truthfully not a good movie, but given my history with it, I just had to put it on the list. Coming in at number 4, Jurassic World. So when I was putting together this list, I really didn't want to put in more than one film from this franchise. I'm sure you can guess which movie is in a higher position here. But I like this movie, and it seems silly to avoid it just to keep the list artificially diverse. So this is the movie that brought the Jurassic Park franchise back from extinction. 22 years after the original film, 14 years after its last sequel, it could be tempting to call Jurassic World a cash grab, but I actually think its existence is warranted. It delivers the nostalgia and core franchise elements you'd expect, but manages to revitalize things with some updated modernity and a few new ideas. This sequel draws upon all of the previous films in the series, and is really reminiscent of those films in many ways, but somehow it avoids rehashed territory. It's not just a rescue mission, it's not just an escape movie, it's not just about prehistoric gene editing and corporate greed. It's a combination of all of those ideas and more. In this film, John Hammond's dream is fully realized. The park exists and is operational and successful. Obviously, it's a terrible idea within the context of the film, but even knowing how horribly wrong things are gonna go, you can't help but wish you could actually go to the park. The film's got a dumb military subplot and suffers from its unfocused nature and lack of a clear protagonist, but it's chock full of great-looking dinosaurs, both CGI and practical. And really, that's all you can ask for from a Jurassic Park sequel. Coming in at number 3, We're back, a dinosaur's story. Switching gears a bit here, we've got another childhood dinosaur favorite of mine. Nostalgia definitely plays a role here, but unlike my number 5 pick, I still think this one, bizarrely, holds up. I have memories of watching this one a lot as a kid, especially around the holidays, which I guess makes sense because it's technically a Thanksgiving movie. This is a very unique film, with an exceptionally strange premise and mix of genres and tones. It's an animated sci-fi musical coming-of-age comedy with romance, horror, and dinosaurs. I really can't overstate how weird this movie is, and it sounds completely insane when you try to describe it. Basically, you've got a scientist who sends an alien back in time to feed wild dinosaurs a special cereal to make them smart and anthropomorphic, in the hopes that they'd be willing to come to the future to entertain and inspire kids at the Museum of Natural History. All sorts of New York City hijinks ensue, all while 2 runaway kids befriend these dinosaurs before being enslaved in a magic horror circus. Sound weird? It is. But somehow it works for me. It's super convoluted, so strange, tonally all over the place, jumping from upbeat dance numbers to evil blood contracts without batting an eye. But I always loved how weird and creepy and interesting it is. The animation's good, it's got a great ensemble voice cast, and it's certainly memorable. Coming in at number 2, Jurassic Park. I know what you're thinking. Number 2? The dinosaur movie is at number 2? Yep, it's probably blasphemous to many, but there is one greater dinosaur movie for me. But with that said, even though Jurassic Park is number 2 here, I still love this movie. Based on Michael Crichton's novel of the same name, this film kicked off what has become an extensive franchise, and also ignited Dinomania. The genre blend here is crazy, but not in a what is even happening crazy kind of way like my number 3 pick. Jurassic Park pulls from a diverse set of genres, but puts them together in a way that logically works. Action, adventure, sci-fi, thriller, comedy, horror, it runs the genre gamut and manages to nail them all. This film isn't without its frustrating character decisions, the flashlight, and it also has an unnecessary human villain, but the story is so good. The first half of this movie is just wonder. It's got the iconic inspirational score and the amazing pseudoscience concept of being able to bring dinosaurs back and see them at a theme park, but then the film morphs. It becomes equal parts exciting escape film and profound cautionary tale. And of course, we can't talk about Jurassic Park without mentioning the dinosaurs. Even today, nearly 30 years after the film's release, the dinosaurs are mind-blowingly impressive here. There's some early CG work, but it's the practical, puppeteered animatronic dinosaurs that are truly spectacular and groundbreaking. The Velociraptor, the Triceratops, the T-Rex, they genuinely feel real, and that's an amazing feat. So that means my number 1 dinosaur movie is The Land Before Time. I've gone back and forth between childhood favorites and the Jurassic Park franchise on this list, but this is without question the ultimate dinosaur movie for me. Before The Lion King, I had The Land Before Time. I can remember watching this over and over again on VHS before I ever even saw a movie in theaters. I mentioned The Lion King because that was my all-time defining childhood movie, and also the first film I saw in theaters, but it's a connection worth mentioning based solely on the films as well. The Land Before Time is an obvious inspiration for The Lion King. The circle of life, the loss of a parent, a coming-of-age journey with multiple species. This is an exceptionally short film, which is honestly my only gripe with it. It's certainly a movie aimed at kids with its comedy and young characters, but this is really a very mature and somber film. Before I cried over Mufasa, I cried over Littlefoot's mom and her constant driving memory pushing him on every time he wanted to give up. Littlefoot, Sarah, Ducky, Petrie, Spike, they're an odd ragtag group, but they were huge to me as a kid. And even now, I feel this indescribable affection for these animated dinosaurs. I was a big fan of the whole Land Before Time series. I watched and owned far too many of those movies. The first movie marathon I can remember was watching my Land Before Time 1 through 3 VHSs one afternoon. And there were a number of the sequels that I really enjoyed, but this first film stands apart from all of the others as something truly special. And to this day, I still want to try a tree star. Yup. Alright, so there you have it, my top 5 dinosaur movies. What are your top movies? Be sure to post your own ranking in the comments below, and don't forget to check out the pics of the other members of the Movie Nerds Club. Remember, I've already reviewed some of these movies, so you can check those videos out for some more in-depth discussion of each, as well as my ratings, pros and cons, and even tailored film recommendations. Also, if you're interested in buying any of these movies, I do have affiliate links to all of them in the description below. I get a small commission from anything you buy using one of my links, so I'd really appreciate it if you use them if you're in the market for any of these movies. Alright, so if you got some enjoyment, insight, or information out of this top list, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe while you're at it to see more videos like this, as well as movie reviews. Till next time, this has been Alyssa with Mainly Movies. The way life should be.